Well, hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US. And today we're gonna make one of these. So fun. It's like a little stack of some more goodies, and we're gonna make the little tag, we're gonna make the s'more stack, and I'm gonna show you some pictures from our Silver Elite retreat that I had back in January 23rd through the 25th, which was just a couple weeks ago. So welcome. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. And it's so fun to read the comments beforehand. I love what Terry wrote in the live comments towards the beginning there. She said, "Is it too much to ask for 72 degrees and snow?" That was funny. You cracked me up, you guys. And then Jody is all the way from New Hope, Minnesota. We're like next door neighbors. It's good to see you all. Thanks for chiming in and saying hello and, chatting away, because it's fun to read your comments. I appreciate it. The Sweet Bugs dies and all of the products that are ones that I'm showing today are current products. Now, sometimes they may go unavailable because products might, like deplete in the inventory, but they are not on the last chance list. There are a couple things on the last chance list. The red ribbon. The red ribbon is on the last chance list. What was the other thing? I think there was one other thing in my list of goodies, but don't fret, because I checked them this morning and I think they should be good, at least in the US market. So we're gonna get started. I don't have a PDF with this project today. The reason why is it's a very detailed, elaborate project. I have parts and pieces of it done. So we're gonna dive right in if that's okay. And yes, I appreciate you checking out my blog post, which is, or my blog, which is stampyourartout.com. You can subscribe to my blog posts. You can check out the link in the description of the video, which will go live later today. It's not ready yet. I'm still writing up the whole blog post. But yeah, check it out. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate you subscribing to my YouTube channel. And let's get started. Let's first dive down to the desktop. I need to zoom in here. I forgot to do that before we started. Okay, we're gonna go down to the desktop and we're gonna take a closer look at this project. So this is a version of one, oh, and I've got sunshine coming in. We have sunny and snowy out today. Not 72 degrees though, Terry. But yeah, so this is the project that I made, or a gift that I made for all of the achievers at my Silver Elite retreat this year. It's a little stack of s'mores goodies. So it has chocolate and marshmallows and graham crackers in there. It's wrapped a couple times. We have a window sheet around here, and then we have some decorative paper from the Country Woods collection of designer paper. And then on top is this adorable, what looks like a little paper version of a s'more, and then the cute little tag. So let's take a look at some pictures now. I'm gonna pull those up on my computer and you can take a peek at these. So this shows you some of the fun that we had while we were on the retreat. Oh shoot, I should have pulled this down, but I gave them a bag of goodies. We have this adorable little fireplace or campfire nightlight that makes noise and it glows and it's so cute. So each of them got one of those. Here they are with their s'mores stack. The towels that I had ready, they got to pick their colors that they were going to use. The centerpiece on the island. We just had a blast. So we had kind of a camping slash picnic slash s'mores theme going on. And I have this s'mores maker at home that I bought when the kids were a little bit younger, although we didn't use it much because they were older at the time. But yeah, and it was so funny because either I was busy and distracted trying to take too many photos, but their marshmallows were roasting a lot quicker than mine. So there we all are. And then there's Nancy and Kayla with their s'mores, and this is Cheryl. So we had such a great time. Let me show you another set of pictures. And this gives you an idea of what I do for the event. Each year I give them a bag of goodies. And this time, instead of giving it to them all at once, which I thought I was gonna do, which is why the photographs look like this, I gave that to them in parts and pieces. So I gave them their bag and then they collected things along the way. So inside their bag, they had their make and take supplies, things that they were gonna use to make all their cards. And I've shown you in past videos and posts, I showed you the two different kinds of Z-fold cards that we made, the triple Z-fold and then the panel Z-fold. And then I also showed you the box of cards. So we made cards in a little box, and then they got a couple mugs. They got a block etched with their their name and their achievement. I do this. This is a tradition every year. Their roll of ribbon, along with their other make and take products. And then they got a little coaster that was leather for their mugs to sit on, their picnic bag, which was insulated. And then just little notes that I write. So if you are a demonstrator that has a team, you know, this can give you some ideas. Or if you're just, you know, hosting a themed party, hopefully this kind of inspires you. So this is what we're going to make today, is a little s'mores stack. And then here's the bundle of it all together. Fun, 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 right? Oh, good. I'm glad that you're liking this. So now I'm going to close out those pictures on my computer. And I'm just going to pull up. I want to make sure that I have, okay, we're ready. You ready? All right, let's go down to the desktop and let's start. And a big welcome to Trisha Joseph. She is here as my moderator. She's here to answer questions. She's here to guide you in the right direction. Always also look to the description of the video because that gives you lots of information as well. Sometimes I talk about different links and all of that. So let's start with the actual s'more because that's kind of time consuming. So I used a couple different paper colors for the chocolate and for the graham cracker, and then I used basic white for the marshmallow. And when I did this, I knew that I needed to have a top and a bottom for each of the s'mores. I was making 4 different stacks, and so 4 times, that would have been 8 of these that I needed, and I'd already cut up some. So I was running low on this paper because I only bought 1 packet of it, and you get, I think you get 1 sheet of this. Yeah, 1 sheet of each of the 3 different colors. Let me look to make sure, but I believe that's correct. Yep, you get 1 sheet of each. And so of the 3 colors of this Natural Hues specialty paper, I used the one that was the darkest, that had a more warmer tone. And I just thought that it worked really well with graham crackers. So I only had 9 squares of 4x4, but if you're gonna do this, I recommend getting more or a similar color. And so you can cut it bigger or whatever, but this sheet is only 4x4. This is also 4x4. This is our 2-toned early espresso cardstock, and you can kind of choose, you know, what color chocolate you want. I chose the darker color. And that's also 4x4, but you could go bigger on either one of these. So when you see the measurements later on, it's gonna say at least 4.5 by 4.5. And it's just wise. And then this one, 4x4, at least 4x4. Now we don't need to cut those. I guess I have those already, but we do need to cut some chipboard. So the chipboard is the part that's gonna kind of like give your graham cracker and your chocolate some structure. And so I already have one side done. We're gonna cut our chipboard to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the graham cracker, and then 3 by 3 for the chocolate. I already have my 3 by 3 done. I'm just gonna use my trimmer to cut my 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And this is, of course, really, really thick because it's chipboard, right? But it happens to cut all the way through. Now, if it doesn't, you can flip it over and cut on the same cut line, and then you should be able to kind of crank it back and forth till it separates. Next, oh, we gotta cut it into a square, Rachel. Forgot about that. Cut it into a square, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then we're gonna do some gluing and wrapping. So this is the side that I want to have hidden because it's lighter. So I'm gonna take and glue these pieces like so. You can see why I'd want you to have a bigger piece for this. You just need a little bit more than that, right? We're gonna use our multi-purpose liquid glue. And we're going to glue, well, it doesn't matter which side. We're gonna glue onto our chipboard and center it onto our paper. Oh gosh, I was having this trouble in the last video and I thought I had cleared it. We're just gonna give it a little poke here. All right, having a pin handy with your glue bottles is a really wise idea. I think I must have a clump in there or something. We'll just move to the precision tip bottle because it just clogged on me again. This is the same glue. It's the the multi-purpose liquid glue, but it is in my precision tip bottle. And we're gonna stick that down. Gosh, you guys remember was it called two-way glue? It would dry, so it was tacky, Or if you got it right away, you could, you know, put glitter on it. And it was a very light adhesive, but a fun one for when we had lots of glitter. Okay, that's gonna go on this, and you're gonna center them. Put them right in the middle, and then just hold them steady for a while. And with I'm thinking I'm gonna do the brown one first, because it's gonna be easier since it's bigger, or I mean, the edges are bigger. We're going to picture two different sides. It's not perfectly centered, is it? Oh, well. You're gonna go into two different sides. So I'm picking this side and this side. And instead of cutting from the side to that point, I'm gonna move my scissors over a little bit and cut further away. Do the same thing on this side. So it's about 1/16 to an 1/18. It's just a little further away. So it has that room to wrap. So we've got that done, and we're gonna ignore the other side for now. And we're just gonna fold this up and fold this up. Use our bone folder, give it a good crease. And you might see some edges of the paper, like the white core to exposing. And that's like here, you can see it on this one. And that's okay, it's just the fibers breaking. So you're gonna see that and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So it's okay, it's just extra marshmallow. So we're gonna put some glue on here, flatten it down and hold it for a while. So how is the weather everywhere? I'm checking your comments here. It seems like we just have this cold streak of air coming through most of the US. But 70, oh, Terry said she had 72, or she wants 72. What's chipboard? Chipboard is the kind of like a cardboard, and it's typically just really, it's not the kind that's corrugated, right? So it's the thick cardboard that comes with like the backing on a lot of specialty papers. When you get paper pumpkin kits or kits collection kits, it's just a thicker kind of cardstock. It's called chipboard because it's more like cardboard. Okay, and now we're gonna push in. So yeah, you won't see a link for chipboard just because you get it from your paper packs. If you buy a specialty pack of paper, you're gonna see it as the backing. Okay, did you see what I did there? After I pressed this down for a while, I then pushed my bone folder in towards the sides here to kind of work that paper that's extra over the edge. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and cut at an angle here and here, and here and here. We're cutting at an angle so that we don't have any extra cardstock coming out on the sides. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna fold it and crease it. And there is one side versus the other that will tend to show. It's just the way of the fibers. Like now you can see some of the white fibers, especially on this side, showing. See that? So it just happens. Okay, we're gonna put some more glue here. Now you could use cardstock, like early espresso cardstock instead, and you won't get those white fibers. It's just gonna be thicker to work with. So you might wanna have like a bigger piece of paper or cardstock instead of just the 4x4, okay? All right, we're pressing that in place. I'm gonna put something heavy on top of it and just set it aside for now. And we're gonna do the same thing with this one. So I'm cutting away on two of the sides. So we're not going right to that corner, we're going slightly away. We're gonna bend it, crease it. Bone folder is such a great tool for this kind of stuff. And then we're gonna put some glue in here. You could use the tear and tape adhesive instead or something like that. I just found that the glue was the strongest, especially with very little paper wrapping around. Yeah, I heard that like people in the South who aren't used to snow were really struggling with, not only the driving, but just, keeping things from freezing. And yeah, it's been crazy. The weather has been crazy. Now we're gonna press in on these sides here. Hopefully it's warming up for those of you who are not used to this, right? Okay, and then we're gonna cut into, and see how it still flaps up a little bit because I don't have a lot of paper This literally was my last piece. And the piece that we have that is on the other half of the s'more is embossed. so it is, it's just what I had extra of, and I didn't have time to buy, well, I suppose I could have expedited it, but I didn't have time to buy another pack of it. So you can see it's embossed, but we're gonna put that one on the bottom. That's that vine and stone embossing folder. That's just stunning. I love it. In fact, I think that's the one I used when I was demonstrating how amazing this paper is in my sneak peek kind of thingy. So this comes from Nature Walk, the Nature Walk suite, which is the suite that is being focused on from our All-Star tutorial group. So we have a whole bundle, a whole collection of videos with projects done with all of those products this month. You can earn them by placing a $50 order through me. You can earn a bundle of those tutorials, or you can purchase them for $15. Yeah, or if you're on my team, you get it for free. It's an amazing one, isn't it? Yeah, I love that embossing folder. Okay, so now to do this, we're just basically gonna glue these two together. So we're gonna put our glue on the back side. So again, I would just encourage more paper, but this is the way I did mine. And look at all of that extra marshmallow on the chocolate. That's how I'm picturing the white. So I saw on Pinterest years and years ago, probably like 10 years ago, and I pinned this pin of somebody's little s'more stack like this, and then I started seeing them everywhere. I was just so amazed, and so I finally got to do my own little version for this event, and it's just so much fun. Okay, we're gonna keep those two together. We'll just put them under something heavy again and put them off to the side. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take this paper. This paper is 2.5 by 3.5, and it is scored at a 3/4 inch in and 3/4 inches in from this side. Okay, so you have that 1 inch in the middle. So score and score 3 inches or 3/4 of an inch on either side, and then parallel to the short side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Then you're going to score at 1 1/4 inches. Then you're going to score at 2 inches. You're going to score at 2 3/4 inches. So all of these are 3/4 inches apart. And then the last one will end up being 3/4 inches also. So you have your 1/2, and actually you could score it the other way. That might make more sense. But 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. How does that sound? That's easier. So each of these are going to make up a little tube that's going to go on the inside of the s'more. Right now, it's a really tall one, but these parts will fold inward. So it's going to be this rectangular prism thing that's going to hold our s'more together. A while back, I used to make these fun little designer paper ornaments or little ball type things. What you do is you cut these strips of designer paper, and then you put them all together. You punch a hole on either end, put some ribbon through it, and then cinch it so it looks like the letter C. Some of you might recall what this is. You make a little C. You tie that knot on either end so that it stays in that C shape, and then you start spreading them apart. I was going to do that to make this s'more marshmallow, but it was too thick. It was too much with the white paper. So instead, I went with a different thing that's a little bit putzier, but it still gives you that same similar look. And here it is again. Let's just take a peek at that little marshmallow in there. So to keep it, pressed down also, to have that inside really, glued to a little supporting piece is important. If you are doing it the other way and you have thinner white paper and you want to make it that way, just know that your knot on the top and the bottom are going to affect your chocolate and graham cracker. So they get in the way too, and then you're going to have a wobbly kind of little insert. So this keeps it flat too. On this shorter end, and here I forgot to fold in this direction. On the shorter end of this supporting piece, this little 1/2 inch section here, we are going to trim, angle little cuts right there in the middle, and then we're going to eliminate this corner and this corner. So we now just have one little connecting piece. It's going to go here. And then all of these little guys are going to fold in. So we have to take and cut into them. Just cut straight into them. It doesn't matter if they're mitered or not because you're not going to see. This is going to be on the inside. It's just a supporting piece, and it's totally fine if there's little parts that kind of peek out, okay? So we're cutting on all of those score lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some adhesive right here. And when we put adhesive on a piece that's going to fold into like a little column like this, all you have to do is put the adhesive on and then flatten the whole thing out. So let's just do that right now. We're going to put our adhesive here, flatten this down, hold it for a quick second, and then we'll move it in the other direction, okay? Move it this way now, like that. And what that's doing is just making sure that it's a squared off column, okay? Now we're going to take these pieces here and we're going to put glue on them. So 2 of them opposite each other are going to get glued together. And you really only need glue like in the center just to kind of hold it. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, so we're going to connect those 2 together. And then we're going to connect these 2 together. And you can put adhesive throughout the whole thing now. Like that one can connect to that and this one can connect to that. Just so that you have it stacked and nice and firm. Okay, so this is really supportive now. Pressing from both sides. Now when we do the other side, you can't press from both sides. So you just have to be gentle, but that is nice and sturdy now. Okay, same thing on this side. Put some glue there, connect these opposite sides together. Put some glue here and put some glue here. Okay, so that's all gonna stick together and be our supporting 1-inch tall little section in the middle of our s'more. Let's put that off to the side. In fact, I'm gonna put something on it so it stays flat for now. I need something bigger. I'll use a block. Okay, making my little stacks around here. Now for the s'more. For the s'more, or for the marshmallow, you're gonna take a piece that is 4.5 by 8 inches. And we're gonna take and find the middle part. So 8 inches, let's see here. That's gonna give us, I'm just marking with a pencil on my grid paper. This is the middle and this is the middle. And because the middle is where they're going to attach, I'm gonna show you this here first. Okay, so this is how they're gonna attach. So all of those pieces are gonna attach in the middle because we're gonna cut this into strips. So if we're gonna put some coloring on the side of our s'mores as if our s'mores got toasted, we actually wanna put our coloring here and here, all right? So we're gonna go halfway between those 2 marks, and that would be right here. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And down here it would be here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Okay, so this is where I want my coloring of my daubers to go for, oh, I forgot to bring out my ink pads. Oh my gosh, Rachel. Okay, let me grab my ink pads over here. We got quite a few colors that we're using. I'm just gonna grab as many as I can think of for now that I know I used. Okay, oh, pecan pie for sure. And then I'm gonna grab my daubers. Okay, we're ready. So for this one, it's crumb cake. Crumb cake is the burnt marshmallow color that we're choosing. And we're gonna take our dauber. I love this from the Country Hive. This is my little dauber case. I label each dauber a different color. And when we do this, we're gonna pounce and then we're gonna lightly just tap going across. Okay, this is giving us the look of slightly toasted. See that? Isn't that fun? Do the same across here. And if you do them before you cut, then it's a lot easier to get them all kind of in the same spot, although it doesn't matter if they're all in the same spot or not. Okay, so there's that, because marshmallows can really be, you know, singed or burnt anywhere they need to be. Okay, now we can take and cut these into strips. And all of these strips are going to be 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm using the right side of my trimmer over here to look at my measurements, and I'm cutting 6 different strips. I think I'm cutting 6 different strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 different strips out of this. Oopsie, almost went to the inch mark. And one more. And that one's a little wide on each side. Okay, that's okay. They don't have to be exact. So there we have our marshmallow strips. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make this pattern with them. So I've crossed 2 of them over each other, and I've turned them upside down to do this. You wanna cross 2 of them over each other like this. And you wanna have them making a T shape, okay? So once you've done, you just use your ruler, and I think that's what I did. I used my ruler and I marked the middle, and I said, okay, this is my 4-inch spot on this one. And then of course my 4-inch spot on this one, but I gotta go a little further out on each side because I gotta cross my other strip over it. So there's my little markers. And now I gotta use my grid paper to make sure everything stays lined up. So I'm gonna take my glue, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here, and keeping my marshmallow toasted part upside down, line up everything like that, okay? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The hardest part comes when you are going to be going with the angled pieces, okay? So the angled pieces, you kind of have to just, you could take I don't know, what is that called, a protractor or something? You could do something like that, but what I did is I took and laid them out so that they looked pretty even, like that. And once I had them in place, then I started gluing them. And I got this look, okay? And this one is not toasted yet, but we're gonna go ahead and just go with this because this is gonna take too much time to do it with this one. But that's how you do it. You just kind of eyeball 2 of them together and then the other 2 together, and you fill it in. So now we can take and connect these together like this. So you're gonna grab 2 and you're gonna connect, you're gonna grab 2 and you're gonna connect, and you're just gonna keep going around. What do we connect it to? This little supporting piece here. So let's grab our glue again, put our adhesive on the bottom, or one side of it, doesn't matter which side is the bottom. And I'm just gonna stick that down in the middle. We can always add our toasted part on the marshmallow afterwards, okay? Is this making sense to everybody so far? So now we're gonna bring up the sides. And I think it's easiest to bring up the sides of the top piece first and then work your way down. So like I wouldn't bring these 2 sides up first because then I'm gonna have all of these pieces kind of curling over onto themselves. Plus I have my square base here. So if I can do this one and then the other one, the ones after that just kind of come together. So now I put my adhesive up here and I connect without overlapping, because if you overlap, that's gonna make it doubly thick, right? So we're just gonna connect them together in the middle. It's detailed, yes. So you should have seen, it took me like a whole day to figure it out and to make all of the sample ones, but this is gonna go quick, you guys. We have parts and pieces done. So it's not like a really quick project, but it's so much fun. And now I'm putting glue there, and I'm gonna connect like this. And you're just gonna keep going around. Other measurements that you need for basic white. So basic white, you're gonna be using for the strips, you're gonna be using it for that little box part in between. You're also gonna be using some of this cardstock to make a tag. We're gonna make a tag on our s'mores container that looks like this, maybe with different colors, but see the little fun parts and pieces on that? Those come from the cute, let's see, Sweet Bugs dies. Now we can take these 2 and bring them into the side. And at this point, because it's not a square little center anymore, I'm gonna put the adhesive on the 2 ends and connect them to the middle. And for that, we're gonna use this punch. And I forgot the name of it. Elegant something tag punch. Elegant layers, elegant something. Trisha will put it up there. So for that punch, you're gonna need to have a piece of paper that is 2 inches wide. And for the 2 inches wide, see, we're gonna cross those 2 over. Okay, those were 2 like opposite pieces of each other, right? For the 2 inches wide, that is a must, Or you can go a little narrower, but not any bigger, because this punch will only hold paper that is 2 inches wide. And then I used 4 1/4 inches for the length, but you could go shorter or you can go longer. It doesn't matter. I think for this sample tag, I must have done 4 1/4 because it's a pretty long one. I did about 4 1/4 inches. So we'll just use that measurement. But I think on one of the other boxes or whatever, I used something shorter. So in the photos, you might go, well, wait a minute, that does not look like the same size. Okay, so we're crossing these two over, connecting in the middle. And you can see if they're connecting in the middle just because the sides of your little marshmallow here will look like they work, right? If one's too far in and the other one's too far out, then you didn't center where you're connecting them in the middle. And then the last one. So we're gonna grab a piece of paper after this that is 2 inches by 4 1/4. And we're gonna prepare that. And then we're gonna move to the box next. We're not gonna do the tag quite yet. We'll finish off with the tag, but we're gonna do the boxes next. All right, I think we got that. See, isn't that just, oh gosh, you just wanna eat it, it's so yummy. So then you can come around here and you can do that dauber thing on the outside if you didn't do it beforehand. We can just come in and put a little bit of toasted marshmallow here. In fact, I kind of like this better. That's kind of cool, because then for sure they're all lined up. It's looking good. And it doesn't take that much longer. So there is our toasted marshmallow. On the sample I saw on Pinterest, the creator of it put a little smiley face on one of these. So it was so cute because it was sitting there and then a little smiley face in the middle. Okay, next you're gonna take and glue this down. So I'll just glue from here. Oops, see, it's already wanting to come apart a little bit because I'm not holding it down as long as I should. So we will do this gluing really quick, and then we will put something heavy on it. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna put this punch on here, although I'm gonna need to use it in a minute. But we'll just set that on there for now. Grab our paper, 2 inches. I think this one might actually be 2 inches. You guys have a scrap folder? I hold all of my cardstock in hanging file folders, which is very handy for me. Okay, it needs to be a little bit smaller in this direction, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit too, I think it was probably 2 1/16. Okay, now we have that done. We're gonna grab something else that's heavy and put that on top of our some more so we can use our punch. I've got stacks of ink pads here now. I need a brick. All right, so we're gonna open this punch up. We're gonna slide the paper all the way back and in so you can see it on the back side coming through. And then we're gonna punch, and you get all these fun little confetti pieces. And then you're gonna die cut a bunch of shapes. And these shapes are, again, from the Sweetest Bug. Let me grab that one. Sweet Bug, that's what they're called. The Sweet Bug dies. And I'm using all of these that have kind of a standalone look to them. All of these here are frame type dies, but these stand alone. So I've got a couple mushrooms, mushroom tops, which could also be considered leaves. I've actually die cut pretty much all of these, I think, except for those little small flowers and this big flower. Yeah, but we've got a bunch in here. So we have some finished mushrooms and mushroom parts. And so let's go ahead and color one of these pieces. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna die cut one more. If I die cut one more, you can see a better showing of the look of this all. So I'm gonna grab another, I'm gonna grab this one here. We're just gonna die cut the top of the mushroom with a scrap. I'm doing that back over here. Don't know if you can see me. Lots of parts and pieces. But don't let that, frustrate you. You have replay, you guys. You can replay this video and you can make it slow down and you can just do what you need to do. We're gonna use the Real Red for this, the Real Red ink. And we're going to use crumb cake too. So I think I have my crumb cake right here. Okay. So let's take our Real Red and a dauber to go with the Real Red. Here it is. I'm just going to pounce up and down on top of my ink pad with my dauber. And I'm going to come in. I'm holding one side of the piece, and I'm just going to start off the paper and roll. Oops, hold it steady and roll in. You know what? I think I used Poppy Parade. I used Poppy Parade. Real Red was the color that I used for the little strawberries. Let's change this out. I'm going to change this to a brighter red. Hang on. We'll flip it over. We'll just flip it over. I know there's a right side and a wrong side to these, but we'll just flip this one over. Grab the other dauber. Okay. Oops. All right, now, this is the correct color. So as you kind of move your dauber in, you're gonna start to see like dark on the edges and lighter on the inside, right? Because you're starting off and you're coming in. You're also gonna get dirty fingers, just so you know. So when you do this, just keep in mind it's gonna get messy. But I like this look because it almost gives the top of the mushroom like a little shine. Okay, now we're gonna do the base of the mushroom with crumb cake. So we'll use our crumb cake dauber. And for this one, I really liked the center part of my mushroom. Oops, hang on. The center part here to be nice and dark. So I started there, and then I worked my way lightly, kind of with a brushing action, downward and upward. And you don't have to worry about the total top, but I just like the darkness here. And we're gonna go ahead and connect our pieces together. Some of the other colors that I used for coloring, this blue is Coastal Cabana. This is Daffodil Delight. This is Highland Heather. We have Real Red for the strawberries, Blackberry Bliss for the blackberries. Oh, we got to do our snail. Here's our little snail. Actually, we'll just use this one. But for the snail, I used Pecan Pie. And look at this snail, you guys. Oops. Isn't he cute? So I made the shell part of the snail the darkest. Just adorable little pieces in here. For the greenery, I used either Lemon Lime Twist or I used Granny Apple Green. Believe it or not, this is Granny Apple Green. It looks almost like garden green, but it's Granny Apple Green. And then for the dragonflies and butterflies, I used Peach Pie, Coastal Cabana. Trying to think of what other colors I might be missing out on here. So let's take our top of our mushrooms and let's add those to these two pieces here. So I'm just going to do that with a little adhesive, little glue. I forgot to put it in my little holder. Got to shake it down each time. So we're just capping our mushrooms with these leaf-shaped little pieces. And then I love the look that the purple one has. Do you see what the purple one has? The purple one has got little white dots on it. Can you see that? So with that, I just used the Jelly Roll gel pens, and you kind of have to get it going on a piece of paper to make sure it's running, and then you just make your little marks. And on some colors like the red, I kind of had to go over the top of my circles a second time because they almost like took on the red ink. Red is a powerful color, you guys. And so then it turned pink, and then I went back over it again. But it's up to you how many times you want to go over your pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and add a few little white spots here and there on the tops of the mushrooms. We'll do another one here. And they don't have to be perfect. Some can be small, some can be large. Alrighty, so we said we were going to do the structure of the case first, but I think since we're still working on this, we'll just go ahead and put these together. I got sidetracked because I was waiting for my marshmallow to come together, so I started talking about the white. Let's just go on with the tag next. So for our tag, we're gonna have a mushroom sitting here and a mushroom sitting here, and then some greenery. So for this one, I just went flat down. I just took and put adhesive over the back side, through the stem, and then I used the two mushrooms to kind of guide me where they were gonna go. I didn't want it to be too far off because you don't want your glue that you put on the back side to seep out. And good, I didn't put any there. And then for this one, I put just some glue on the bottom and then a little tiny dimensional, a mini dimensional at the top. And that stuck down right about here. Then I put some greenery on, and the greenery is a little bit different color than the one that's on the sample. That one's just straight down, so just a tad of glue here and there. Whoops, I think I missed it up there. You don't have to glue every single surface. Do we know that? We know that, right, you guys? Just enough. So that I stuck here, and I think I actually have it coming off the edge, but we're not gonna worry about that. I have a butterfly on there. Let's grab a butterfly, bend it up a little bit at the wings, and then take the middle of the body and glue just the middle of the body down. This is our peach pie butterfly. I think I put it over here because I have kind of an imbalance going on here, you guys. I think this is supposed to be more in the middle. We're going fast. We're going fast. And then I had a dragonfly, and for that one, I did have green on the sample one that you're gonna see, but we're gonna put a blue, a blue one there. Coastal Cabana. And then we gotta have the snail. The snail, you guys, oh my gosh, the snail. So let's grab our little snail guy, flip him over. And if you don't have, you know, the dexterity, you can always use like tweezers or, you know, the take your pick tool and stuff like that to help you pick things up. So we've got a little tiny dimensional on the back side of the body. We're just gonna stick it right up against the top of this mushroom. So he looks like he's climbing on top. I'm gonna shift him over a little bit. So he looks like he's climbing on top of the mushroom like that. And isn't it fun how white paper just transforms just by using daubers and ink? It's crazy cool. All right, next, we need to, I got glue on my pieces in here. I put this in the wrong container. Next, we're gonna take our real red ink. This is where we're gonna get a little darker. Oh, on the sample one, I used real red. Yep, and then on here, I used Poppy Parade. Oh well, doesn't matter. We're gonna use real red at this point, and we're gonna stamp a sentiment. And that sentiment is gonna come from Banner Sayings. And they have these really, really cute ones. But one of them is You're the Sweetest. And I think that it's just so fitting for this particular project. So we're gonna pull that one out, put it up on a clear block. My marshmallow keeps puffing out, you guys. Stick that down. And then I'm gonna put this up off to the side so it doesn't get ink on anything. So our marshmallow kind of keeps popping off, but we will force it in place real soon here. We have our tag almost done. The next thing that you want to put on your tag are those ladybug epoxy shapes. Another thing I forgot to pull out of my craft room, but I know exactly where they're at. So we will grab those guys and add them. So you could put a mushroom on, or I'm sorry, a mushroom. You could put a ladybug in here if you wanted to even. I didn't on my other one, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So let's take and push. Oh yeah, this one is really, because it has a large surface area, you almost have to kind of use your picky end to pick it up. And we'll just add that, I don't know, maybe it'll be crawling up the side of the mushroom. And then we'll use some of these guys here. I think these Yeah, I can slide them off better. So then you can take and put a couple of these just for little dewdrops up in the air. Maybe another dewdrop down here. Balance it out a bit. So lots of little dewdrops all the way around. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, that's almost ready. Just have to put the linen thread on it. Next is the stack of s'mores. So I have boxes, and I've linked them in the description of my video, and they come like this. You peel off the little coating of plastic here that kind of keeps it from getting scratched against all the other ones in the container. So you pull that off. It's like a little cellophane. Then you fold in on all the folds. All the folds except one. Folding in, folding in. This is the cap. We're gonna fold that one back for now. Fold in, fold in, fold in. And then they connect. You take this little piece here and you bring it to the outside. You put it in that slot, push it all the way through, and it'll connect right in there. Do that to all 6 areas. So this is the base. So we're doing the base first. We're connecting all 6 areas. There's 4 of them, and then there's 2 more on the cap. Okay, you're gonna do that with 3 boxes or 4, depending on how big you want your container to be. For the marshmallows, it might be wise to give them marshmallows that aren't itty bitty ones, but I found these in our local store and I couldn't resist. The company is H&M Country Store, but this is like so cool. So I'm gonna take a bunch of these and put them into a measuring cup. It's not quite a cup of them, but a little shy of a cup, okay? We'll tie this back up, and now we need a bag to put them in, because if we just stuck them into our box like that, then we would have issues with, you know, freshness. So we want to keep them a little fresh. So we're going to take these cellophane bags, and these cellophane bags I've also got linked in the description of the video. They are 6 by 9, and they're self-sealing. We're not going to worry about the self-sealing part. We're going to fold 2 sides in together, and it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. You're just going to fold them in to the middle. So you're going to go like this. Fold them into the middle so they meet, and you have about the same amount on each side. And then give it a good burnish with your bone folder to make sure that those score lines are, you know, pretty well creased. You're going to cut about 1 inch shy. Take a long scissors here, that'll help. About 1 inch down from where the bag part ends. So you can see where the bag part ends. It's about 2 inches from the very top. Okay, and I didn't do it on my other bags yet, so I'll have to do those in just a minute. One more fold that you're gonna wanna do is the bottom, and you're gonna go in as far as you did for these sides. Then you're gonna stick your hand in here. Clean off your hands before you do it. You're gonna stick your hand in here, and you're gonna open it up. Okay, you're gonna open these 2 corners up on the end, and you're gonna pinch them into a little V. You're gonna stick it down on your table, put a little bit of adhesive. I'm using seal adhesive, just a little bit there, and a little bit on this side. I think we'll do the other side first, or this side first, and then we'll do the other side. Stick your hand back in there, connect to the bottom. Then we'll open this side up, flatten it out, put a little adhesive down there. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're just making a gusseted bag. Now, if you have gusseted bags that you can use instead, you can by all means use those, but these are the ones that I used. So you're opening that whole thing up, you're pouring your marshmallows in, then you're connecting it by pinching it and putting one of these bread tags or bread tabs or whatever they're called, those little connector things that you get on bags of bread to kind of hold it sealed. You're gonna flatten this all down like this and roll this to the back. The back of your box is actually gonna be the front of your box. This here is the clearest of all the 3 sides. So we're gonna make sure that our marshmallows face in that direction, and then we're gonna close it shut. And you just put the 3 sides down like this. Oops, they're catching on each other. The 3 sides down, and there is this little extra little tab here that you can click into that space, and then you can lock it in place. So here is the back of the box, which is now the front. We're going to do that with our other boxes that we have ready. And again, I haven't cut off the 1 inch or 2 inches from the very top, sorry, of each of these. For each of these bags, I used full graham crackers and full chocolate, and then little tiny chocolates to fill in. So for the graham crackers, you can see here I have 1, 2, 3 that were cut in half, and another 4th one that was cut into quarters, just to kind of fill it up and make it more of a square look, because they're not perfectly square. Did you know that? And then we're going to latch that shut with these bread tabs or whatever you call them. This is going to be the front, so we're going to put that towards the back of the box. We're going to bring this around, lock it in place. Okay, there's our second one. Oops, you're not even seeing those. Sorry, they're off camera. Okay, and then next, we're going to do our chocolates. And for the chocolate, I used 2 full Hershey bars. So you can see 1, 2 that were cut in half. And then I have these fillers in here because I had lots of these chocolates too. And these are just the mini Hershey bars. And I put 3 in there. Pinch it shut. Another one of these. I collect these, you guys. So I don't have a source for these. It's just that we hang on to these in our house in case we want to seal something back up, you know? So we have a whole bunch of these in our house. These little bread claspy things. Okay, and I want this chocolate to be facing front, so I'm going to go ahead and put that to the back. Grab our box. The back of the box becomes the box. Close it all down and latch it shut. Now it's time, oops, get under there. There we go. Now it's time to bring these all together. And you can stack them in any order you want. I think I have it, what do I have? Graham? I think I have it this way. It doesn't matter though. Then you're gonna take some window sheets. You're gonna cut a window sheet into 4.5 inches tall, which is the height of this, by 12 inches wide. And you're gonna score in at 1 1/16, and yes, it makes a difference on these boxes. 1 1/16 and 4 3/8. Each side, 1 1/16, 4 3/8. This is probably one of the hardest parts of it, is to put that score line in there in a window sheet. It's really hard. You just keep going back and forth with your score blade. And then when you eventually get it into a somewhat, folded section, you press it down and you use that bone folder to help you score. Since this is gonna be the front, and these are the sides, and that's the back, the sides are gonna get covered with designer paper. So we want this wrap to go on here like so that our connection of our window sheets is on one of the sides. It doesn't matter which side. And see, it doesn't go all the way up, and you don't want it to, because if this presses down from weight, then you don't want your window sheet to be popping things up and off, right? So you want it to be just slightly shorter. Anyways, this is a full wrap, full wrap, full wrap, but the side, and it doesn't matter if it's left or right, is where the two ends of the window sheets come. And you're gonna just hold it nice and firm. You're gonna grab some Scotch tape or just whatever kind of tape helps, like 2 inches of it. You're gonna connect it here, and you're gonna connect it here. So this is not pretty, but it helps to hold it all together. This is the front. We're gonna now go on to our designer paper. And for our designer paper, we're gonna grab our, and where did it go? Oh gosh, that would be sad if I don't have this paper. I do, oh, here it is, okay. So we're gonna use our Country Woods paper, and you can use any design. I grabbed the one that looks like this, and I cut it into 3-inch strips. Here's our trimmer. So what is the news that's going on right now, Rachel? Well, we have bonus day redemption. So if you earned any bonus day coupons from your orders that you placed last month, then you can redeem them now. Yay. So I just have some 2-inch strips. You'll want to just add them to your order. They will reduce the total, the overall total of your order. So if you're trying to get the new product of the month for February, which is a beautiful pack of paper, then you need to make sure that you are that you're at 75 after the coupon has been added, okay? 75 is the magic number in the US. So we're gonna connect these two together, and what I did for that is I just connected at the bottom using a strip of adhesive and my grid paper for help again, so that I made it nice and straight. And there we go. Now we can start wrapping. We're gonna put this on top and you can start connecting. And I didn't use the full 12 by 12 on the smaller one. I used the full 12 by 12 on the bigger ones though, because I had one more stack in here for the gals and it had little Post-it notes that I found on Amazon that were super cute. They had a s'mores theme. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that up and around, and we're just gonna estimate where it should get trimmed, and you just cut it. There's nothing genius about this at all. You want enough to cross over onto the other piece. And then we're gonna take and put adhesive and connect it nice and firm so that everything's held together like that. Seriously, that's all I did. Then we put our s'more on there, and our s'more keeps wanting to pop open. See that? It's not quite connected. I didn't put enough glue or something. But you will put enough glue. Can we get in there with the glue? I don't think we can. Ugh, bummer. We were going fast though. We were going fast. Okay, so the ribbon is next. Okay, then you need ribbon to hold on to it. And I just have a long strand of this. I probably don't even need all of it. Right now I have 16 plus another 16, that's 32. 36 inches. And I know I don't need 36 inches. This was the amount that I used for the taller stacks. So you're gonna take and find the middle point and tie a bow. And this will hold our s'more down from popping up, because it is not cooperating with us today. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And I believe I just tied a bow. Oopsie. This is where you need a partner. Someone to hold the s'more from popping up and the other person to tighten the bow. Okay, we got it. So now that that's on there, you can actually shift your ribbon to make it centered if you need to. You can adjust the tails of your bow to make them the length you want. And then you can trim. We'll use our ribbon that has, or scissors that has ribbon on the end. Okay, then it's getting there. Oh, you guys, guess what happened? Our poor little marshmallow. So the thing that was supporting it in there slid. Yeah, you know what I was thinking before I started this video too? I thought she's gonna do this in a half hour. We can do this in a half hour. All right, so technical issues, not technical, but you know, physical issues with our marshmallow. I'll go in and fix it later. We've got twine next. For our twine, we're using linen thread. And linen thread is like a must-have for all crafters. It is just a nice neutral twine. And I put a little snip in the top of my tube like this, so that when I'm done pulling out what I need and I trim it off, I just take that end and I stick it into that little spot, so then it doesn't unravel on me, okay? So we've got our twine in here. We're gonna just bring that around the bow. It can be underneath your bow, it can be wherever, but you just want your two ends to come together. Then you're gonna take your tag and you're gonna put the two ends of your linen thread through that tag. And this is where Rachel is gonna like have eyeball problems. Oh, I did it. Did I do it? No, I didn't do it. because Rachel has older eyes. And for these really tiny details, okay, hang on a minute. We're going to try that again. I'm going to twist it. Oh yeah, I can see now with my glasses on. Oh my gosh, that end, that one end. I need one of those threaders. You guys ever use these? It should have worked. It should have worked. I did it on all my other ones, but we're going to use a little needle threader. Okay, I don't have that listed, but a needle threader is perfect. I'm going to pull them through. There, now we got them. Okay, next. You're going to figure out where you want your tag. Get that needle threader off of there. It's got glue on it from my pins. Okay, we want to figure out where your tag is going to hang, and I want it to hang right off the side here. So I'm going to do an overhand knot right in this spot. And that'll hold the tag from moving. And then if I want to, I can even tie a cute little bow at this spot here. You'll of course want to write on your tag before you add it. But now we have our tag and our frayed ends that we don't want anymore here. You could probably go longer. I don't know how much twine I used. I'll put it in the measurements in my blog post. The last thing are these little guys. These came in a kit, Harvest something kit. It's in the description of the video. It's a kit that has you make a wreath garland with it. Harvest garland? Something. Anyways, we're going to stick these in here, and I'm going to use my pliers, and I won't actually do this, you guys, because I have to fix my my marshmallow before I cinch this down. So I'm going to actually untie the red, and I'm going to fix it. Oh, here's my pliers. And then you just take a pliers and you manipulate the ends of this wire to connect these little guys in here to make them look like extra parts of the bow. That's how you do it. So crazy. Oh my gosh. See, my marshmallow got squished. It's all good. I'll fix it. All right. What else do I want to be telling you guys about? Again, all the elements that I used for putting this project and this tag together can be found in the description of the video. So make sure you're looking there. Also, there's a link to my blog post in the description of the video. Product of the month, I told you about that. I'm going to show you a quick glance at my latest newsletter so you can kind of see what's going on for that. So let's go over there really quickly. Product of the month is this Painted Illusions designer paper with a $75 order in the US anytime during this month. Well, the sooner the better, because sometimes product of the month can sell out. Anyways, you can add this onto your order for just $5. So it's a nice deal. It's really pretty paper. And if you click on this, it will give you, I believe, yeah, there it is. You can see it directly. Let's go back to that email. Oopsie. All right. The kit. There's a starter kit special happening. Yay! I'm so excited about this. I love starter kit specials because there's always it's always a good time to join because the starter kit is always the best deal. You get $125 worth of product for $99, free shipping. It's amazing. Like, it's the best deal, right? But now they're adding this $49 valued stamp and positioner tool that we've all been sharing. All of us demonstrators that pre-ordered it, we've been sharing it, and it's amazing, and I'm so excited about it. So that is a free gift. There is a link for signing up to get the starter kit in the description of my video. Plus, if you're in my newsletter, if you subscribe to my newsletter, you can learn about it. This is time to redeem your bonus day coupons, so make sure you're doing that. More items were added to the last chance list, so make sure that you're taking a peek at things that are leaving, that are retiring, because you'll want to get them before they're gone, and sometimes they're up to 60% off. And then we have a couple new kits in the kits collection. So hopefully that news helps you out, you guys. Anything else that I want to tell you about? When you do order through me, you earn loyalty points, and you earn those all-star video class bundles at a $50 order level. If you are a demonstrator, order from yourself. If you have a demonstrator, order from them. Okay, share the love. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I covered it all. Trisha, did I miss anything? So much fun. Our next time that we do a live will be coming up this Friday. And I've been wavering back and forth because Rachel talks a lot. And I really want to get my projects done for you in less than an hour. All the time I want to do that. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 alternate projects that I've created with this last month's Paper Pumpkin kit. I just kept going like I promised you I would. I have a scrapbook page. I have 4 cards. 2 of them are fun folds. I have, like, they're really unique. One is a monster card. One has food on it. It's really unique ideas. So what I might do, if I find time, is I'll pre-record and then post the video. So if I pre-record, that video could go live Friday morning instead of Friday night, and then I would just change my Google Calendar. The Google Calendar is also always linked in my videos. So just check in. If you don't see a live notification on my channel on Friday, then you know it's going to be a pre-recorded coming, okay? That's my goal, just because I want to get it all in. But if I can't get it done, then we go live on Friday night. So that is the next one. And then Wednesday, February 11th, I'll go live, and next Friday I'll go live. So it's usually Wednesday, Friday. I hope that you're all having a great February, start to your February, and thank you for joining me on the live. I appreciate you all. Thanks so much. All right, I'm gonna let you all go now. Thanks, take care, and now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.